Tell your friends you're listening to the Verhoeven Effect podcast. I'm Conlon,
And I'm Nathan.
and we have another very special episode. We have the 1976 movie Logan's Run. Nathan, do you have a history with Logan's Run?
I remember I saw this movie in pieces for a long time.
Okay.
Would to catch one part of it on some kind of cable access, and then another part of it growing up. It always looked kind of interesting, but it looked even really dated in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like, well, this is kind of weird. Um,
Yeah,
what's
for a late 70s movie, it looks like a late 60s movie.
yeah, it seems to say this has really uneven production value, and
Yeah. Well, it
uh,
just kind of seems like, oh, this is like a big Doctor Who episode.
yeah,
That's for some reason is made in Texas.
yeah.
I thought this was purely a British thing, but it's like nope. Well, it might be all British like talent, but it's all done in Texas.
Yeah, they yeah, I forget how many. Yeah, it was like a British European crew with some American and mostly two British lead actors and then a bunch of American actors.
Well, and the director's British too, so
Yeah,
but it's an MGM joint, so yeah, who knows?
yeah.
They made oh, and I was United Artists. I was thinking about the Bond series. I think technically MGM owns the Bond series now.
Oh, okay.
Also, Amazon owns MGM, so because there's like that MGM Plus, which is like no, I've. Do you even know that existed, Nathan?
Oh, I
Okay.
kept caring. Yeah, after a while.
And for some reason, Amazon got rid of Freevee, so
Yeah, I noticed that was gone. But yeah, this is like this is 70s sci-fi.
yeah.
It's a universe unto itself.
Well, I feel like so I've never seen this is the first time watching Logan's Run, but it's it lives in the zeitgeist of the like what do you call that? Cultural osmosis.
Yes.
And I feel like the cultural osmosis of this movie got it wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of yeah. You're thinking it's something it's not going into it.
Because because like the way people like make fun of it in like The Simpsons or any other thing like that, it's like, oh, you have a glowing gem in your hand, like run, they're trying to kill you, you're too old, and like that kind of like misses the whole point of like he actually wasn't too old and he's a cop. It's like it's, it's like
Stop at Sexland.
yeah, it's like this isn't representing Logan's Run. It's like I didn't was not expecting that whatsoever.
I actually have a clip. Well, I probably can't play a Family Guy clip on the show,
Yeah.
but there is a clip where it's like Stewie's watching TV and it's like it's time for random 70s sci-fi. And it's like the guy dressed like the guy from Logan's Run, dressed like a Sandman, and he like him and this girl are walking through the desert and they find a bunch of clones of themselves working in the office and he's like, we'll never beat the corporations, and hands him a gun that's like, there's one way out of this, kill yourself. And then he shoots himself in the head and then she rips her face off and it's a robot face. And
yeah.
then it plays that weird 70s wow
Yeah.
kind of music, and it's
Yeah.
like every movie from the 70s, sci-fi movie from the 70s. And it's like, yeah.
And the whole bit where like it's just Washington D.C., which like I've never even heard that through cultural osmosis. I feel like they were trying to go for like, oh, let's do Planet of the Apes.
Mhm.
Also, I don't know anything about. I didn't know it was a book, so I never read that. Have you read the book before?
I scrubbed over it. It's has almost very little to do with this.
Okay, all right,
I mean, it's the same idea, but like they end up going to Mars and
okay,
missile, and everyone dies when they're 20 in that world, and it's like, whoa, that's a dumb society.
yeah,
So here they changed it around a little bit, but
okay,
yeah, this movie doesn't live unless Planet of the Apes and Westworld
yeah,
exist before it, because this is very much in that universe.
yeah.
We probably when did Rollerball come out?
Oh man,
75.
okay,
So Yeah, we got the Omega Man. Like there is all this crazy 70s sci-fi that kind of preceded this.
Yeah.
And this was sort of cashing in on it, but also kind of
Is
its own thing.
is Star Wars before this or after this?
Star Wars is a year after this,
Okay.
believe it or not. They say this is the last of like the old like studio type sci-fi stuff with the really bad effects, because you got to remember like what's that movie, Star Wars and Damnation Alley came out the same
Oh
year
yeah.
and literally cost the same money.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, wow,
So
okay.
technique's a whole difference, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Well, with Damnation Alley they threw all the money into one thing, which was that weird, like the actors are looking at the sky as the nuclear radiation has changed the planet.
Yeah.
It's like those are actually pretty grandiose scenes for that time. And when you realize how they had to do that and how much money it costs, it's like, yeah, Damnation Alley spent all their money on cool looking truck things, which were
Yeah.
actually functioning vehicles, and the sky effects of the planet tilting back into its orbit or whatever.
I feel like the production design of this movie is fairly well done. The models are fine. You know they're models, but
Yeah.
they look good enough. I think the thing that really hurts it is like their squib effects for the weird guns all look very cheap and stupid.
Well, according to the Michael York, the Sandman,
Yeah.
those guns actually that sound effect and flame that was built into the gun.
Yeah.
Like they actually did that. That wasn't put in later. Those guns did that for real, and they malfunctioned all the time. So a lot of the like weird dissonance between like he's shooting the gun and it seems like they did a cutaway,
Yeah.
or it's like it's not. It's like that gun must travel through the air slower than a paper airplane. It's its target is because the guns kept malfunctioning. Because that's even like before in camera. That's like, no, we're actually going to fill it with a gas, and it has a battery in it. When he pulls the trigger, it makes that pop hiss sound.
Yeah.
Those guns are called deep sleep guns by Sandmen. That comes from a lot of research from the prop building forum. It's how can you make your own Logan's Run gun? Make it work. And guys with a lot of time on their hands made it happen.
Yeah, I remember there was at some point there was gonna be Ken Levine, the guy who wrote BioShock, was working on a Logan's Run script and it never happened. So, but also I think like the BioShock universe kind of fell deep into its own ass and out of relevancy. So,
yeah, BioShock's cool, but it definitely like disappeared into some self-canceling void after a while.
Yeah, well, like no, it was like I can't even remember the last BioShock game, but like they went, yeah, Infinite, and like it was cool, but like it had like a totally empty message of like just being like, well, both sides are bad, and then provided nothing, no alternative, and it's like
both communism and capitalism suck in different ways. So that what happens then? Well, George Washington and Abraham Lincoln androids fight it out. All of America. Bye. Hey, come back. That doesn't count. It just looks cool, but it doesn't count.
And I feel like it weirdly like the kind of empty ending of Lost, or meant something to some people. Like I felt like it didn't help BioShock. It's like we can't have all these great sci-fi things end in disappointment. So.
Oh yeah, like mid 2000s sci-fi was like tried to almost exterminate it. So, what are you guys doing? Can you write an ending? Everyone dies. It's like, well, it sucks, but it is an ending. Yes, because that's how it ends in real life. Dies. So, but yeah, no, didn't happen. They've since got away from that and they've gone back to unsatisfactory endings, but at least are endings now.
Yeah, I feel like there is a movement back to, all right, guys, not everything can be a cinematic universe. Like, let's just start having characters that are relatable and then immediately start killing them. Because like
we're gonna have plots that make sense, that they're dense, they're crazy, but they're all gonna connect and it's gonna be great. And it's like Westworld's doing it. No, yeah, There. Okay, here we go again.
Well, yeah, that's probably the problem with television as well. It's like, oh, we've got to keep it going. Like, if it's
No,
successful, keep it
just
going.
BBC that stuff.
Yeah, just
Hey, we're
stop.
doing 2 seasons. That bye, we're done.
Yeah.
That's it. What's next? What's the third season going to be about? Something totally different. Different characters, different story.
Yeah, I just finished watching the fourth season of The Bear, and it's like it's still great, but it's also like, man, are they gonna do anything? So,
I mean,
uh,
it's kind of like the best example of that is The Office. Is like watch the BBC Office, it's amazing, like groundbreaking television. Watch the American Office, also amazing and groundbreaking for similar and different reasons. But realize like the American Office, it's like we're just pedal to the metal. As long as we're printing money, we don't care. We'll keep telling stories.
yeah,
It's,
that.
all the main actors don't want to be in anymore. We'll bring in other actors. We don't
Yeah,
care.
and like the American Office became the de facto Office.
Yeah, it is The Office. Ricky Gervais did a weird like 2 season thing on the BBC. It's like Ricky who? Who cares about that? That
and
BBC stuff's weird. Everyone's sad and drunk.
and I was like the same thing with like the BBC and the I think it's ABC or no CBS, the Ghosts show,
Yes.
because like that's like the BBC one. It's like 8 years and 5 seasons, and like they're all pretty good, but there's about 30 episodes, and by season 2 of American Ghosts, like they got 40 episodes, and now it's better than the original, or at least it's funnier than the original. They're
Yeah.
not going in weird directions of where like, let's figure out our personal lives and stop being a comedy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's there is a thing about brevity, but if you can keep the quality going, it's good. But the BBC stuff's always been like what is it? Faulty Towers. I think that's 1 season.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
people don't realize like they didn't make as many because people remember every minute of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
good. And they're like, that must have been on for 5 years. It's like, no, it was just all densely packed
I
into
mean, it
one.
wasn't like Monty Python like 3 seasons or something like that, but you would think it would lasted a decade.
Yeah, I think it ran from like 73 to 77,
Okay.
maybe. But I could be wrong on that. But yeah, you think it like, oh, they did that for 20 years. Like, no, they didn't. No,
And the British do have shows that have like been going on for almost like 40 years, but it's usually like their soap operas and
yeah,
stuff
those
like that.
it's meant to like that was baked into it. Yeah, because I think they have one called like it's on a street somewhere,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, people have gone from being babies to old men as actors in the
Yes.
show. Like it's been on that long.
Yeah, and it's like the show has successfully done, like people look forward to transitions to new cast.
Yeah.
Whereas most show, once you do that, the show is over. So
No.
if
Yeah.
you can figure out transitions, you can have a show that lasts forever if you want. So
Yeah, and it also becomes like a cultural touchstone.
yeah,
People like say the lines from the show. I forget what that's called, like something street or I
it
don't
was like
know.
White Street or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm surprised never happened, but probably couldn't was American Doctor Who. I'm actually surprised. It's like, yeah, we're doing this now on HBO. It's just the Doctor Who in America.
Yeah.
Wildly popular, but that's kind of like let's do an American Harry Potter. It's like it doesn't work, but
I
I
mean,
don't know.
I like technically Torchwood was American Doctor Who.
Yeah, yeah.
It still used like all the British crews, but it was produced by Stars. They did it for 1 season. It was a lot darker, more violent.
Oh yeah. That's the one where, like nobody died and people were just mutilated all over the world.
Yeah,
They get in car wrecks and they're like they're not dying, but they're
yeah.
the end of that was that movie Death Becomes Her, where
Yeah.
it's like they can't be killed, but they can just like just disintegrate kind of because they ram their bodies into a cannon or something. Yeah, but anyway,
Yeah, I forget what other point I had about Logan's run, so I guess we'll just get into.
well, it was like your thing was you were talking about like it's misremembered
Yeah.
as it's like this isn't quite the cultural it's not the cultural zeitgeist thing you think it is. It's actually a little different.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the idea that it lives in the cultural osmosis is that like you're aging out and you're no longer relevant, so you're going to be killed. Which that's what people like relate to. It's like an aging thing, And like
Yeah.
that is present in the movie. That is not what the plot of the movie is
No.
about.
Yeah, this guy did not have an epiphany when he hit 29. Like, I better run away. It's like,
Yeah.
no, he was happy. He was fully enmeshed in the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Um yeah, and almost in the way like it's presented in spoofs is like it's a surprise that you're turning 30, whereas like what's presented in the movie, like everybody knows when everybody's going to die essentially. So
Yeah. Yeah, keep living today like there's no tomorrow. That's like the feature of their society.
so we got Act One. We have a pretty long titles here. We get sometime in the 23rd century, the survivors of war, overpopulation, and pollution are living in a great dome city, sealed away from the forgotten world outside. Here, in an ecologically balanced world, mankind lives only for pleasure, freed by the servo mechanism which provide everything. And there's just one catch: life must end at 30 unless reborn in the fiery ritual of carousel. Which I don't know. I don't know if this lead up helps anything, but I guess it's something to go off of. So
Yeah, it gives you kind of a skeletal framework of like, huh?
yeah.
Okay.
Then we get shots of a cloud. We pan down to the dome city, which is just like some models here. Which again, you know they're models, but they look fine.
Yeah.
They're
it's
big
okay.
models.
Yeah.
You know, it's like someone made a model train set, but sci-fi.
Yeah.
Like it looks cool, but you also know it's a model. So. We go inside the dome. It looks like a theme park with like transport tunnel trains, like all about. Then we cut to we see a baby with a jewel in its hand, and then we have Logan is tapping on the window, looking on the babies. Logan and Francis are a pair of guards called Sandmen. Like they seem to like take it easy. It seems like I didn't know what they're doing at first. Like, are they guarding the babies or like what are they doing? But I guess all they do is live to kill runners. So
Yeah. Yeah, they're
not,
kind of like police,
kind of, yeah.
but they're not like
But they
order.
only respond to runners. They're not like because there's that one rundown part of the city that's just full of children that are meant to like go to school or something like that, but refuse to. I don't know if that's going on there, but there's clearly no order there, and they don't want to go there because you just get stabbed all the time. So, and what's it like? It's like Francis 6 and like Logan 2 or something like that. There's like presumably these people are all clones of each other or something like
Yeah,
that.
Logan 5 and Francis 7.
Okay.
So it's like they have first names but last numbers.
Yeah.
And then like later on we find out like there's like people born under they're introducing what is that called, like astrological signs.
Yes. Yes.
It's like but not specifically to people's names. It's just like who was born on this day.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing I was going to talk about. Have you heard about this video game called Expedition 33?
Is that the one where time keeps repeating itself?
No. It's like a French Final Fantasy game. And so like it starts out, you're this character, he has a suit that says 33 on it, and then in a big monolith off in the distance it says 34. And you're like, what the hell's that about? And then you go meet up with this woman who like presumably you've had a previous relationship with, and you're just kind of like hanging out with her for the day. And then everybody starts. There seems to be a ceremony going on, and you all walk to a dock, and there's a bunch of people there, and then there's they all kind of like it kind of takes on a grim tone, and then this giant figure off in the distance next to the monolith they call the paintress changes the number from 34 to 33, and then everybody who is above the age of 33 turns into rose petals and essentially dies.
Okay.
In the gommage, which is French for like the disappearing or something like that. So, which that's sort of Logan's Run, but it's even more cruel because this has been going on for years. Like it started at 99, has been counting down. So that means like at this time, at 33, like let's say you're 20 years old, you have a kid. So you're aging up, and that's counting down. So by the time your kid's like 6 year old, you're going to die.
That
and then
sounds like a grim world.
and then your kid's gonna get adopted, and there's just a bunch of orphans that happen all the time. So yeah, it's interestingly cruel. So it's like, oh man, that's screwed up. And then like, it's Expedition 33 because all the people are basically like that are going to die next year. They go out on this special expedition to figure out what's going on with the paintress and see if they can solve it. And every expedition has went out and everybody has been killed on every expedition. So.
Oh,
It's very interesting, dark and French, and very influenced by Japanese RPGs as well. So,
oh, okay.
but it's got a very interesting active time battle thing where it's like, if you press buttons at the right time, you basically get more damage and stuff like that, or you can block every incoming strike if you get good at it. So it's a bit more action oriented for what is just that RPG where it's you select attack and stuff like that. So, which is not unusual. Like this happened before, but this might be like the most complex and interesting one so far. So,
Huh.
anyways, that's what I was gonna bring up. It's like I wanted an excuse to talk about that game, so I found it because you're gonna die at this certain age is a pretty common thing, and you could also relate this to Running Man and what is the we're gonna kill the kids, the Hunger Games kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
um, that one specifically, like, there's old people in that universe, but like they're putting young children up against each other, and that's kind of the cruelty of everything. It's like, what are you, 16? Why don't you go kill each other for a favor? And it's called the Hunger Games because essentially they're trying to remind everybody, like, hey, we don't have enough resources to feed everybody. And I never finished it up, but wasn't the trick on it they do or something?
Oh yeah. Well, they did. Yeah, the world of the Hunger Games. At some earlier phase in their history, they had like ultra technology, like they had like Star Trek level technology.
Yeah.
They had to, in order to stay in power, they just suppressed all that knowledge. So people just lived like starving itinerant farmers on the land when they had like transporters and stuff. And but it also destroyed the world in a serious way.
Yeah.
Like that level of technology, like it led to massive wars because the Hunger Games is roughly in North America, but it's implied it's the only place in the world where people are still alive.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like North America, but it's like the coasts are all deformed because of flooding, and then you find out, and because of weapons that were used, it's like, what? Okay, that's wild.
We dug a canal with nuclear weapons.
Yeah. Well, no, they could actually like manipulate matter and stuff.
Okay.
They had crazy technology. Like I said, it was like Star Trek stuff. But the world fell into like the world of the Hunger Games was like the dark ages of that time.
Yeah.
Where they still had some like a knowledge of it, but it wasn't. It was just this totalitarian society where no one knew too much because you didn't live very long if you did. And it was also the awful culture.
Yeah.
It was like this, like, what if reality TV was about children fighting to the death and everyone thought it was the best thing ever? Whether you did or not, you better like it because, we're not going to feed you. So, yeah.
Did you see the trailer for the new Running Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
The more comedic Running Man.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's that guy. It's that.
Yeah.
Did like, the Shaun of the Dead guy, so that makes sense. You think I never read the Stephen King book, but I wonder if it'll actually be weirdly closer to the Stephen King book.
It might be. I don't know. That was the Bachman series.
Yeah.
Because I can't believe, like, The Long Walk is coming out.
Yeah.
And Luke Skywalker is the main bad guy. The colonel in it or whatever that just shoots the guys as they stop walking.
It was Long Walk Bachman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
For some reason I thought that was his son that wrote that. I can't remember.
No, yeah, those were the Bachman books.
Okay.
That is a really dark, hopeless. There's a reason, like, yeah, those are like separate for a long time. Because like I said, I can't believe that, because it's basically teenagers and they're being murdered systematically.
Yeah.
and everyone's watching on TV. Like it's the coolest thing ever, and in the end, it's not happy. What happens? It's like, oh, did they win? It's like no one ever really wins. They just lost their sanity. Is what happened.
We get mentioned about a Sandman, and we one for one. One is terminated, one is born. So we're kind of getting on like what's going on here, because we saw some babies. So if they're born, that means people gotta die. So
Yeah, nobody's born to a woman. They're all born in like machines.
yeah, they're all clones of each other. So you don't want them having kids anyways, because it'll be like like incest babies by now. So
Yeah.
so who? Yeah, we have no idea if like they can actually get pregnant or anything that because they're clearly having all the sex they want. So this is definitely mid coke pre AIDS.
Oh yeah. That's a very sexy movie.
um, for like all these British people that are like 20 years old and look like they're 45.
Well, actually, everyone in this movie, they said would have in this society would have been killed. The only person that was under 30 was the Jenny Agutter, the British actor. She was 23.
Okay.
Everyone else was in their mid 30s.
Oh, okay.
Because like the main guy, he's like, what how old is he now? It's like 83 now.
Yeah, he's still doing work. He does a lot of voice work, but he's still working. So
Yeah, he had to move to back to America to be near the Mayo Clinic
huh.
because he has some kind of condition that's like really rare, and so he can only get treated at the Mayo Clinic.
Huh.
So he left London to move here. Also, it's weird in this movie. There's two people in this movie that have British accents. Everyone else has an American accent, and it's like, how did that happen in this society where
Yeah.
some people have? I mean, they disguised them pretty well, but they still were like speaking like British people. And because like Richard Jordan's an American, and a lot of the other characters were American, but for
Farrah
some reason,
Fawcett's American.
yeah, for some reason, well, these two people have British accents, or maybe it's something they could choose.
Yeah, or it's a DNA thing. Maybe
Yeah.
somehow an accent is in their DNA or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's it's sci-fi. You do whatever you want. So.
yeah. It doesn't matter. It's just kind of funny when you think about it. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
these guys have British accents.
Well, yeah, because it's like your main characters are British, and then they end up in America, and then you're like, wait, what? So if you're trying to work out like how'd this work out, you'd say, well, clearly this dome is some sort of arc, and it's the last ravages of humanity coming together, and so yeah, there's gonna be people from all over the world. Where the reality would probably be different. It's like we're just saving America because everybody else can die, but who knows?
Yeah, we don't know. Like I said, you can get laser surgery here and be whatever you want to be. So maybe it's like, oh, I'd like to speak this way, and it's just
yeah,
an
yeah,
effect they do for you. Who knows? It doesn't really matter. It's just funny.
yeah.
But the real reason is like, well, these are the actors we hired. It's mostly a British crew, even though it's all filmed in America.
Yeah.
So it's filmed at a weird mall in Texas and sound
Oh,
stages.
yeah, because that's why I found out it was filmed in Texas. Is that crazy fountain at the end? I was like, is that a real thing? It's like, yep, it's in Texas. I'm like, what the fuck?
I think it all got demolished in 2006.
Oh man.
I'm not sure. I know that there was because some of it got turned into apartments because it was like the world's biggest shopping mall
Yeah.
at that time before like Mall of America,
Yeah.
and that's where all the interior and some of the interiors were shot there. Some of them were shot on a set, but yeah, I think that the whole mall got turned into housing,
Okay.
and then I think they tore it down in like 2006.
Huh.
But I don't know if they tore it all down or just part of it.
Okay.
But I'd my research because it's like, where'd they get all this weird brutalist like building?
Yeah.
This got to be in Europe somewhere, right? Nope, Texas. It's like, oh, okay, because I know they didn't build that set. It's like that set would have cost more to build than this
Yeah.
whole.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. Because at first I was like, is this a miniature? Is that a set? Like, because I was looking at all the water. And I know there's a trick where you can, instead of pouring water on a miniature, you pour salt and it'll look like frothy water.
mhm.
And I was like, are they doing that? It's like, no, this is a real thing.
Yeah, they're just walking around on it with those stuff. Or, yeah, just get out there. We're gonna film.
They look at this glowing flower shape like on the wall, and it gives out a date, and they said carousel begins, and then everyone gathers in this auditorium. We get people in white robes enter the circular stage down below with like red glowing flower. There's red glowing flower structure. They surround the glowing gem. And then they show their hands, which the jewel in their hands begins blinking red, and then a force field just kind of descends upon them, and then we hear like the was it refrain of renewal or something like that, and they disrobe. Well, at first they show masks, which people gasp at, but it seems like this is a common thing. I don't know if this is new or common, but this is we see this twice, and this happens every time, so I don't know why they're gasping. Um, and then also their clothing have like flames on it, so it's like
Yeah.
symbolic of something. Who knows? Um, and then people in the centers just kind of start floating upward, and then the people just start blowing up.
Yeah.
So
They don't seem to be doing anything really
no,
to affect.
no,
Um,
and you don't know why they're blowing up or anything like that. And then people are chanting renewal with like enthusiasm. Um, so again, like, well, there's a thing posed on later on. It's like, have you ever see anybody actually like do like be renewed? And they're like, no, but it happens, right? And so like none of that stuff means anything to the people watching it because we don't see the thing happen. We just get mention of it. So like it works for the like sort of like um lie of of the movie that's happening. It's like, oh, this isn't a thing that's real. This is just like religion controlling people and so in a this like slightly more scientific manner or
yeah,
sci-fi manner, not really scientific manner. Just like it's just a sci-fi religion. It's
a very 70s manner too,
yeah.
because this is this is the time of like there's cults all over the U.S. People are robbing banks and blowing up colleges.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff going on. So it's like,
But also, we don't know what renewal is.
no,
Like, what does that mean? Do you turn into a baby? Like, do you get to live as an old person, or you stay young forever? Like,
I think well, from what I understand, they think everyone who gets vaporized somehow becomes like that the life is destroyed and then they become the life that is created,
okay,
which just seems to be a belief they
yeah, but
have.
that's not renewal. When they blow up, that's not renewal. Renewal is something else. Renewal is not getting blown up.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, because they all sit there and watch it, and then at some point, Francis or Logan asks Francis, "Have you ever seen renewal happen?" And he's like, "Well, surely it has." So that means what they're witnessing here is not renewal.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know. I mean, that could just be bad scripting. So I
Oh,
don't know.
there's a whole lot of one of the biggest problems with this movie that we will communicate is there is a lot of half-baked ideas in this
Yes.
movie that never mature. I mean, they don't even we're not even talking half-baked. We're like, well, they put the ingredients together in the blender and just kind of left it on the counter to see if it would cook
But
itself.
that is 70s sci-fi.
Well, yeah.
It's like we're on drugs. We have a lot of ideas. It's up to you to decide what it means. So.
Well, speaking of 70s sci-fi, we didn't really talk about the director of this.
Oh yeah.
Because
I forgot to mention everybody because I don't know anybody on this list. So
well, you do know. Well, I don't know. It depends on how many movies you watch, but you do know some stuff that Michael Anderson's done. For instance, he did the Dam Busters in 1955, which I think I've talked about that movie
yeah,
because it's about the ones where they made the skipping bombs.
yeah.
And they would slam into the dams. He did that. That's a good movie. He did the 1950s Orwell's 1984 book, which was ambitious at the time and kind of actually told the story. He did Operation Crossbow in 19.
Oh shit! I know Orca.
Okay, you know Orca?
Okay. It's like it's like the Jaws ripoff. It's actually an okay movie.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Orca?
I think it sounds familiar now that you mention it.
Yeah, it's like the
on the boat the whole time, and it's just attacking the boat.
No. It's almost like that because I think like there's like a horrible thing where like they capture a whale, it's pregnant, and then like they end up killing the baby, and then the whale gets free, and then it like tries to kill them the rest of the movie.
Okay.
And like
remember this.
And there's like a house on stilts, and like there's a lady in a cast, and like the orca knocks the house over and then eats this lady's leg off.
Okay, yeah. Now that you mention it, I wasn't going to mention that one, but yeah, that's true.
It was, it was one of those like it's 11 a.m. USA is playing Orca because it's cheap to license. So I remember Orca. So, anyways, continue.
He did Operation Crossbow, which is about it was about something that really happened, but it wasn't the way it happened. But it was about the destruction of the essentially what would become the V3 mass saturation bombings. Because what they would have done with the V3 rockets is just because you had the V1, which was the buzz bomb.
Yeah.
That was the one, Then you had the V2, which was like twice the speed of sound. That one just showed up and killed people. And then you had the V3, which was an underground site that was just going to fire hundreds of missiles at the UK.
Huh.
And they don't know if it would have been devastating or not, because actually they accidentally destroyed it bombing something in France. But in Operation Crossbow, it's like they know what it is and they have to get in there and find out exactly where it is to tell the bombers where to hit. Everyone dies at the end of the movie because they sacrifice themselves. But it is kind of a memorable movie. It's got like Sophia Loren, George Papard, all those people really young. It's a 1965 movie. And then they have a movie I always liked he did called Shoes of the Fisherman.
Okay.
Just like, what if the Soviets sent an exiled Catholic priest in the Soviet Union and he got to become the Pope? And they could use him to direct Catholicism against the West.
Huh.
So it's like a combination of how does someone become a Pope, and it's a spy thing. It wasn't great, but it had an interesting concept, and it was well filmed.
Huh. Okay.
It looked cool. The ideas were sort of weird, but it was like, this is mixing two things together that are weird. And then, of course, Logan's Run. And then we had The Martian Chronicles, the TV show, which that was kind of a weird adaptation of the Ray Bradbury books.
Okay.
So it had a very particular look to them. It was very low budget, very low rent TV stuff, but it was kind of ambitious.
Okay.
And, The Martian Chronicles are better to read than see the TV show, but the TV show like tries to grasp the idea. It's not great, but it has a good look to it. Yeah. And then, of course, the last big thing he did, Millennium, which we've seen that.
That's the one where they're familiar. I don't
the future world by taking people off of airplanes before they crash.
Okay.
It's got Chris Christopherson, Cheryl Ladd, and a bunch of there's a few other people. I mean, it's a crazy like over the top sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
But so what they do is they put dead bodies on these planes before they can freeze them in time.
Yeah.
And they put dead bodies on the plane. And then they take the people that were going to die 1,000 years into the future because it won't affect time.
Yeah.
Because they're still working at the linear time causality loop thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, but like one of the pilots, like they're having trouble with the plane and they go to look in the back and they see it's just burnt bodies. And the pilot gets back on the radio and he's like, they're all dead. They're all dead. And then the plane goes down. Chris Christopherson's like this NTSB investigator. And he won't stop until he gets to the bottom of like, why did the pilot say that? And he ends up like uncovering the plot because Cheryl Ladd's like the time traveling lady from the future.
Okay.
But the Earth is so screwed in the future, and they all get away somehow because what's going on is even though they're not trying to disrupt time, they end up doing it by going back and forth in time. So in the future, they're not only do they have pollution, nuclear war, and a post-apocalyptic society, they also have time quakes, which really destroy or rip people out of existence. They have to go somewhere else to get out of the thing. And I know something funny that was going on was Cheryl Ladd had to smoke constantly. And everyone was like, this was an 80s movie. Everyone was like, man, this chick's smoking a lot. Well, the reason she is because the air was so polluted in the future that when she came to the past, she had to constantly smoke or she would get sick. Because she was used to breathing polluted air. Again, a silly movie,
yeah,
but it was kind of interesting.
Huh.
Definitely a classic weirdo movie. Definitely a low-budget sci-fi movie that for some reason had two A-list actors in it that were probably at different points in their career.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of weird visuals and ideas, but yeah.
Let's see who the director of photography is Ernest Laszlo, who worked
Yes.
with Michael Anderson a bunch, but also did like It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World, which I've never seen, but I've heard about it a lot. Is that like a zany '60s movie, or I don't even know what's going
Yes.
on there? Okay.
Yes, he
Um,
also was the DOJ on Stalag 17,
okay.
which was the World War II movie with oh, it was all William Holden and a bunch of other
Yeah.
people.
Oh,
And
and we last saw him. He was the director of photography on Airport, which we did.
yes, oh yes,
So.
and he also did another one of my favorite '50s movies with Charlton Heston, The Naked Jungle,
Okay.
which is about the guy whose plantation gets attacked by army ants,
Huh.
and he comes up with different ways to defeat them with water and fire, and
Okay. Yeah.
he always, but they call it the Naked Jungle because the army ants will strip the jungle on the way through. Um, and then, of course, who can forget Attack of the Puppet People, which is one of those movies about little tiny people attacking humans, which has always been a concept that's fascinated me. Uh, and then, of course, Logan's Run, which got him an Academy Award nomination.
Oh, okay.
One of the last things he did, I think it was the movie before the last, but he was doing director of photography on silent movies. So that's how far back his career goes.
Yeah, he was born in 1898.
Yeah. He
So.
born like when in countries that don't exist anymore. So yeah.
Oh, he's a camera operator on Wings, huh?
Hmm.
I know. I think that was like the first movie to win like an Academy Award.
Okay.
It'll pop up a bunch in memes. They'll show a shot from it. I don't know if you've seen it where it's like the camera's like cutting through a bunch of people and it pulls up on a guy who's like weirdly holding like a martini glass, a giant martini glass, and
Oh, I think I do. Yeah, I think
and
I
like
do.
they basically like made all this contraptions like here's a table and as the camera moves close the table will just split apart to let the camera through and stuff like that. So it's an interesting shot, and it's in 1927. So which back then you're not doing a lot of like moving camera stuff. It's kind of like, well, we got you run into the frame. That's like that's so it was like pretty, that's why like you like yeah, that's what you really when you watch Citizen Kane, that's what you watch it for is like the cinematography and know that before this, like they didn't nobody went this hard before. So it might seem like a mundane, like not interesting movie now, but like you try to watch it with the eyes like, oh, this is the first time anybody did this before.
Yeah, it's like the Matrix, but back before, yeah. Yeah,
um,
you think Russian Ark is cool? Well, they actually built the set to come apart, assemble to move the camera this way.
um, and then there's a bunch of stuff weird with the writing. There's like a bunch of like sub writers on it and story buys because it is a novel. Um, but then it's like who else is like you have David Zella Goodman. He wrote the screenplay based on a book. He also wrote like Straw Dogs.
Yeah,
And then I don't know other stuff he
Eyes
did.
of Laura Mars. That was
Oh
a
yeah,
doc.
we did. Well, we did that for a different show, but yeah, we did that
Yeah.
one. Oh wait, did he write that? I thought that. Oh, he co-wrote that because I was or was based on Carpenter's screenplay, right?
Let's see how they're both credited,
Okay.
not and or with, just one after the other. So
Yeah. Yeah, there might. Yeah, in this. Yeah, there might be a different rules for
Straw
that.
Dogs is such a cool, weird movie.
I never seen it. I only know the brutal stuff about Straw Dogs. So.
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's a movie from a time that doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, if it's
Because I only know it for like violent sexual assault. I don't know anything else about that movie.
oh yeah, it's just basically like what if British hillbillies attacked you
Oh,
with
okay.
double-barreled shotguns? It's like, huh, okay.
Um,
We don't like you around here. Can't do that accent, so I'll do a hillbilly accent because I can do one of those.
I've been working at a more subtle Australian accent that I've picked up from the Death Stranding 2 game I've been playing.
Okay.
Because there's a guy named Tarman who his model is based on. Oh crap! Who's the director of Mad Max?
Oh God. Let me look. George Miller.
So yeah, it's based on George Miller. It's not voiced by him, but it's his likeness.
Interesting.
Well, he did that before. Heartman is based off of Nicholas Winding Refn,
Okay, I
and
remember that.
so his likeness is in the movie, but it's a different voice actor. And then there's some other director cameo in the first one, and so in this one, there's a guy named Doll Man who's literally and he lives inside a like like what do you call it? The puppets that are on strings. So they're just puppets.
Like a marionette.
Yeah, yeah, he's like a marionette, and he's based on like some Turkish German director. um, but his voice is another actor. But anyways, he when Tarban calls you, he always says because in this universe people just refer to themselves as their nicknames.
Yeah.
um, and so your main character is Sam, and so he goes Sam, tall man here. so it's like. So it's like I don't gotta do shrimp on the bobby stuff. He goes, Sam, tall man here. So it's a bit more subtle Australian. So, all right, where the hell was I? Oh yeah, yeah. So I don't know much about the writer. There's something I didn't look it up, but there's something. And then yeah, the act cast is Michael York, Ginny Aguilar, and Richard Jordan. And then really the only person I know in this movie is Farrah Fawcett shows up at one point. So it's
Yeah.
like, I know her. It's like, oh, it's Farrah Fawcett.
Well, the old guy in the end is like Peter Ustinov.
Yeah, which I feel like I should know that. I've heard that name, but I don't know where I know him from.
Oh, he's a super famous like British actor. That
Okay.
did everything.
I can't remember if we did a movie recently or if he just like popped up in some trivia that I knew about, but like I've heard that name before, so or maybe
Oh,
you mentioned it. Like it's a very
yeah.
unique name, so
I'm trying to think. What movie did he do?
but the weirdest thing, because like I was looking like on his like one of his the latest stuff he did, and it's like he was playing an old man for like 50 years.
Yeah, yeah, he got the old man.
Because
Got the old man role for a while. He was playing an old man who's 40.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the other? Let me look up what his later ones were. Because there's something that like he showed up in. It's like, oh yeah, that movie.
He was in The Bachelor. In Lorenzo's Oil. It's Sarandon, Nick Nolte.
Nah, maybe I'm just wrong about this. Anyways, it's he acted for a long time, so
Yeah.
So yeah, where were we? So yeah, I don't know what renewal means.
Apparently, nobody, people
Yeah.
watching it, don't know what it means. So
I don't know what carousel is, other than just these people are going to be floating in a circle and exploding.
Yeah.
Now you don't see people flying to pieces. You just see like the little explosion, and they always cut away from it. So it's just up to you to imply how violent it is. But apparently it's just a different way to disappear, because we have a much more violent disintegration coming up later.
Yeah. A really gross stop motion one.
Let's see here. Logan gets a text message about a runner in the Great Hall, which is actually some of the future stuff in here just totally makes sense. It's like, oh yeah, we just did that. Like I know there was the tricorder like in Star Trek, but that was all voice command stuff. Here you could just look at a thing and there's a text, and it's like, oh, that just relates directly to today. So, so yeah, Logan heads off, and then Francis notices he's gone, and then follows after, and then they team up to catch the runner. They have a tracker, and they box him in. But here, like, oh, is it Logan that Thompson? He goes, "Run, runner," or something like that. And like Logan never like hits this guy, so you don't know if he's a bad shot or if he's just like they're playing with their food or something like that.
No, they're playing with him. The movie when Logan and the other guy want to hit people, they one shot a lot of people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Then like, yeah, they end up like climbing all like the the different structures. Then Francis takes glee in shooting near him and not at him. He just kind of shoots around him. A lot of shooting around people here. Yeah, because they have him pinned against the wall and they just shoot around him. And then eventually he gets out near a balcony, and then Francis just shoots him, and he falls off the balcony and dies. Logan requests an identity check, and he sees the guy's face, and like he sees that he has a face change, so we know there's like basically some fancy like plastic surgery in this universe. Then he confiscates an ankh. I wrote a cross, but it's an ankh from the guy. He actually just takes like a bunch of stuff off his body, and then a cleanup crew float in, and then
Yeah.
they just kind of like, and the what looks to be like the propulsion gas is also just a gas that makes the bodies disintegrate or whatever. So this is the only time you'll see this, and then it's gone from the movie. So
Yeah.
yeah, they drop some.
Gas sounds like it could be pretty insidious if it got like
Yeah.
released into the or something. It's like, yeah, it just broke a body down in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, so you get this claymation like visual of like the guy just disintegrating into nothingness. Um, so that's pretty clean. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, some
It's
yeah.
like Judge Dredd. It's like we got 6 to pick up for recycle. Like look into that. It's like, what were they doing? And everyone's like, yeah, where do you think the food comes from? Props in Mega City 1's like, oh my god.
um, yeah, I'm not sure if they mentioned it. We did later on, but yeah, everybody they once they turn 30, they have to die. That's the end of your life. So. So that being the Act 1, we got Act 2. Logan's in his apartment, and he like teleports a sex worker or something. Like this is like the only time this technology exists.
Yeah, this seems like again ultra technology. Like they basically combined a transporter from Star Trek and Tinder.
Yeah,
because he's literally like swiping right or
yes.
left. It's like, okay.
Yeah, first a guy shows up and he kind of smiles at him, and then Logan kind of smiles back. He's like, nah. And then he hits it over, and it's like, yeah, now I want this. And then it's like, a lady in see-through green costume. And then he's like trying to like hook up with her, and she doesn't want to. And he's like, and what does he say? Like, why'd you put yourself on the network or something like that?
Yeah.
Or the circuit. Why'd you put yourself in the circuit? Yeah. Which again, that's not necessarily explained, but through Osmo or figuring out here, it's like, okay, people elect to be used as sex workers like on the go, and that's like their job. So presuming there's you have to have a job to attain some sort of like sense of wellness or something. I don't know how it works, but it seems like I don't know what we never see her apartment, so it's like, is being a sex worker here a good life? It seems like being a Sandman seems to be a decent life if you don't care about murdering people. So
Yeah.
because then, yeah, you're not really there to conduct order. You're there to just kill people.
Well, yeah, it seems like the Sandmen are pretty much what do you call those people? Like their mentality is like make the best of your work, but they're also kind of like autocratic. It's like we serve the system because the system serves us.
Yeah.
And we don't like moralize deeply.
No.
Because there is no moral. Well, everyone's like 25 in this universe.
Yeah.
No one was moralizing when they were 25.
Yeah.
And it's like that's part of the thing. It's like, yeah, that's what you did was you had just orgies and you lived in a society. I didn't do that when I was 25, but I didn't live in a society like that. But
yeah, but like all these people doing drugs and having orgies because they don't have a home to go to, but like the Sandmen get to have a home and a private orgy to themselves.
Yeah. But they seem kind of because people would ask them like, I've never been around a Sandman. What's your life like? Because they're the only people that have a job in this society.
Yeah.
Like everyone else just runs around and dresses in silk outfits and just has sex and does whatever they want to. And like there's doctors that run like laser surgery suites, but there's no real like ruling class here.
No.
So
I mean, there's presumed to be like a artificial intelligence that's keeping order.
Yeah.
But even that's not really fleshed out. It's just kind of like, well, it exists because it only talks to the Sandmen too. It doesn't talk to everybody else.
And then the guys that float in on the body disintegrating machines. Now I don't know if they're Sandmen or just like sanitation. I'm not sure. And again, it's a lot of these ideas.
I became a pathologist for this.
Yeah. Just a janitor in an acid sled.
If we had titles, we'd do that for American Grease Factory. Janitor in an acid sled.
Yeah. I'm to fly around in the acid. Want to have an orgy later? No, no one wants to have with guys. That's crazy. No one
uh,
wants an acid orgy.
the lady is sad her friend was just killed, which that's a guy he just killed, or I guess Francis just killed, and he stole his stuff off him. And then we
Yeah.
see on she has like a like a
Um,
collar on that has an onk on it, so it's like okay,
which
this
is
is
like
gonna
bad intelligence service. Like she's openly declaring her allegiance to this group.
yeah
Supercomputer is concerned about, but it's like, well, why don't you just interrogate this chick? It's like she's openly saying she's
yeah.
like the swastika in her forehead, like the Manson. It's like, you know who the person is. She's got the weird symbol around her neck.
And this is kind of like the only like well, we get some more implications about like the caste structure here, but there seems to be something that the Sandmen live decent lives, but also like somehow like don't know reality, but like people like Jessica do because she has to live with the consequences of other people's actions.
Well, it is kind of established in the beginning. The one of the few things they try to establish is that Logan 5 is having questions.
Yeah.
Because like at the beginning when he's hanging around at the birthing facility or whatever, and Francis shows up, it's like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm looking, I wonder which one of them is going to be a Sandman. And he's like, I've never hung out here, why are you this is not, why are you doing this? So it's always like he was a curious soul, but only in the context of this universe. Like, I have questions,
Yeah.
but I'm not really like gonna probe deeply into that, where it seems like Jessica, like, because she's like way younger, and it's even
Yeah.
kind of implied that she's way younger, and it's like, yeah, she from the beginning knows like there's something wrong in this society. Now I don't know if that's because she has superior intelligence, she's just more inquisitive, or she was always, because nobody has a family unit in this universe,
Yeah.
so maybe somehow
Well, that's
people,
what they give you context later on when like they don't know what a marriage is. It's like, oh, that's wild.
so she must have gotten like surrounded by people who like, look, there's something wrong in our
Yes.
society. But again, all these half-baked ideas in this movie
No.
never coalesce.
No,
It's it's just like up to you to like, oh, okay. But when you realize like this thing had been an undeveloped story slash script for like 15 years or whatever, because I think the story was written in 61.
Okay.
And they started writing scripts, and then everyone was like, this is too weird, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. Or then people were like, we're getting it off the ground, and then we're doing something else. So this had been passed around quite a bit.
Okay.
So by the again, we named some of the high points that this director did, and so this guy's always like that third man theory of like, let's give it to him now, because
Yeah.
I forget what made a big director tried this and passed on it.
Okay.
But this was also, like I said, this is a weird time in science fiction, where you had like, everything from the man that fell to Earth to Westworld to A Clockwork Orange to Alien was all part of this era of sci-fi.
How because THX 1138 was before this, right? How much before this was it?
I don't actually know. Let's see. Let me TH
71. So yeah, it's quite a bit 5 years before this.
5 years. So yeah.
But I feel like there's like similarities between this and that, but that's a much more violent and gritty world.
Yeah, that was a big downer world.
There you just watch violent news and like have the sex machine work on you.
Yeah, it's literally like a machine, like that they're trying to build now. It's like, that was the message: is this society sucked. It's like, what's wrong? Every time you open your medicine cabinet, like, take all these pills. It's like, oh wow, what a crazy idea. It's like, not really, not anymore. And then also, what's the other dark? Oh, A Boy and His Dog came out.
All right, yeah.
Well, that's the Harlan Ellison story.
Yeah.
That's why I always like that one. But that's a really dark show. If you watch that,
Yeah, it's not.
that movie is like super depressing.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like you watch that and like, oh, this is where Fallout came from.
Well, you watch it and it's like, oh, he ran away with the girl. They're going to be happily ever after. And it's like, no, he fed her to the dog. What the hell? It's like, yeah, he's just as evil as everyone else. Good night. Have sleep tight. Enjoy that thought. That was like 70s sci-fi is so cool and weird.
We also got. She asked like, why is it
But
wrong?
now that it's becoming our conventional reality,
Yeah.
It's like because we basically live in Logan's Run without a death date and no big hair at this point. Like that's towards.
She asked the question, why is it wrong to run? Which we get kind of answers later on. Like, if you run, you don't have a chance at renewal.
Yeah,
Like, that's
surface answer.
Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Don't know what happened there. Didn't lose internet at all. Just lost connection with the whatever going on here. So.
Okay. Yeah, I talked for a little bit and then I made a loud clapping sound and just let the recording run. So that'll be this. When you see the big
Okay.
spike, you'll know that's when that
Well,
happens.
weirdly, it said I lost connection, but I could still hear you.
No, that's weird. I was wondering, I was like, should I keep talking? Maybe. You know.
Yeah, because you're like, well, apparently we lost Conlon. It was like, can you hear me? It's like, nope, you couldn't. So.
No. Not that good an actor. I can't sell that.
Anyways, what were you saying?
Don't remember. Oh yeah. Basically, like this society is only skin deep,
Oh yes, yes.
and people's thinking is not that deep either.
Yeah,
But then again, I remember what I was like at 25, and I wasn't having deep thoughts.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
There's yeah, it's like these are 20-year-olds, like, and there's literally no reason to have ambition for a career. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to be dead in 10 years.
and there doesn't seem to be any restraints on their behavior.
Nope.
So, I mean, we don't hear about murder and violence. Well, unless you get out to the rim of the city where the feral children are.
Yeah.
But that doesn't even come into the story until later. So,
Let's see here. Oh, yeah, we get mention of the gem in their hands going black and that being bad, which we never see that happen or the consequences of it. So
yeah.
it goes red and clear.
Yeah.
Oh, and green. Green, red, and clear are the only things we see of it. So, I think I forget. Yeah, is this just? Oh no, this is Logan. He says, "I'm a 6. I go red next year," and they mentioned being terminated at 30. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Jessica is the lady that came to his house. Yeah, she doesn't want to have sex with him. He says no, and it's like, well, why'd you put yourself on the circuit then? But then, he gets more curious about her as she realizes that, like, he just killed her friend earlier. But then Francis comes in with a couple ladies, and then Jessica leaves, and then Francis throws like a red smoke bomb in the ceiling, and they have a whole lot of fun. And then that's the end of that scene. So.
Yeah, I'm assuming those are like horniness drugs or what are
Okay.
they? What's the name for those? Damn it! It's like Spanish fly and all those other mythical
Okay.
ones
Yeah.
that make people ravenous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aphrodisiacs.
Yeah.
Supposedly it's an aphrodisiac ring.
There's an aphrodisiac flare.
Yeah.
Aphrodisiac smoke bomb, aphrodisiac flashbang, we got to the next day, they see a salmon who's cut up from a runner, which I guess is like which we see later on, the guy who cut him up, but then he was a kid or something, so I don't know.
No, he was cut up by what they call a cub.
Oh, okay. All right.
Those are the feral children that live at the fringes of the dome.
They
Like
end up there trying to chase a runner, and then they got cut up by a feral, or what was going? I can't remember. What was going on.
It seemed like he was trying to do some kind of enforcement action with the cubs.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, because the cubs throw people. We find out later the cubs throw people out if they become teenagers.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't. they have their own like inverted weird
Yeah.
society they've created.
Yeah, they have a weird Lord of the Flies thing going on. So,
Yeah.
um, Francis goes and disintegrates the runners' things, or some runners' things, because these are other runners' things.
Yeah.
And he puts his hand in like the disintegration machine to like kind of give his identity. So that's also what this gym does, is also like their identification, and also probably a tracking device and all this other stuff. Um, we see a map overlay of a runner being killed, which
Yeah.
so like it's like so we see like the kind of like tracking devices they have. Logan goes to disintegrate the runner stuff that he got, but then it looks like he's curious about something, like he doesn't want to do it. I thought there was something because he has like this little black pouch, and I'm like, is that his black pouch to put stuff in, or was that the runner's black pouch and he didn't want to disintegrate it? But it's just something. It doesn't really mean anything. The computer asks him to sit in front of a screen, which just seems to be unusual, and then it questions about the Ankh symbol that the runner and Jessica have, and then the computer talks about sanctuary, which Logan has no idea what the hell that is, but it's associated with unaccounted runners, which the machine says there's like 1,056 unaccounted runners, which I guess this is also new to Logan. Is like, well, that's got to be impossible. How are we doing this one in one out thing if there's over 1,000 of them unaccounted for?
Yeah. Seems like our society would be out of balance.
um, which then that also gives him, oh yeah, he asks about renewal, which the computer's like, you already know, which this gives him immediate doubt, and he's like, oh no, but renewal's never happened. so that now he like doubts the everything he's worked for. um
Yeah, this is a hell of a supercomputer. It's like, yeah, we're just gonna tear down all his illusions and then send him on a secret mission.
yeah.
This computer doesn't understand psychology.
The computer gives him a task of finding and destroying sanctuary, which Logan questions how he can do that, how he can pose as a runner if his, is it retrogram or what, lifegram I think it's called, isn't flashing, and then the computer asks him to put his hand up to the identify thing, and then it makes his jewel grow red, which now Logan immediately feels betrayed because he's like, I'm not supposed to die for 4 years. Like, will I get that 4 years back? Computer never responds with any assurance whatsoever. So now he's off on a secret mission with a like, basically, if anybody sees this, which I thought that was going to be a thing, like he has to hide the red glowing jewel from people, or like people are gonna, it's gonna be like, oh, what was that movie where like everyone, when like it's like a kind of a pod people movie, when they see somebody they make like a weird screeching sound and point at people.
Oh, yeah, Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yes, I thought it was going to be like that in this movie, but that never really happened. So it seems like you can hide the red jewel pretty well. So
Yeah.
but also like here he's got a flashing red jewel, but the Sandmen aren't alerted to him being a thing. So this seems like a weirdly complicated cover for him, but it's what's going on here. And this is kind of like the main plot of the movie, is like a cop gets put on an undercover mission with kind of a death sentence over his head, and like that's never mentioned in the cultural osmosis of this movie. So, or at least I never picked up on that.
No.
I mean, do you remember a time of like knowing of Logan Run before you saw it? Like, how were you present? Did you just see it without knowledge of it, or did you have knowledge of it beforehand?
Well, like I said, I saw scenes and I would tune in at various disjointed. I never saw it completely through.
Yeah.
I saw different scenes. But yeah, once I watched it completely all the way through, it didn't really seem like to me to have that kind of like, oh, we got to hide this fact. It just seemed like a fact of their society.
Yeah.
And doing that to him only like helped aid his story. It's like, yeah, people are going to believe it.
Yeah. So yeah, Logan takes the Ankh and gets out of there. Logan asks Francis about seeing someone, if he's ever seen someone renew, which here Francis is in like a hot tub, and he's like, and he just goes underwater to ignore Logan or whatever. So then Logan takes off. Then Logan calls upon Jessica to talk to her. He says he's going to run, and he shows her that like the glowing jewel, and she's like, "Oh, did you show me that?" And like this is his only in to you know, because she's like, well, she has the same symbol, so obviously she might know something about what's going on here. Um, so he tries to get her to get him to Sanctuary, and then she's just surprised that Sandman wants to run, and is surprised by the mention of Sanctuary because like, how do you know that? And he's like, I don't. Then Jessica like leaves, and Logan follows her to a courtyard, and she meets with a group who apparently like want Logan dead because he mentioned Sanctuary, which I don't think we'll ever see these people ever again. So
Yeah.
I think maybe there's the two red guys that follow him for moments, but then never act on anything ever.
No.
So whatever. Um, Jessica goes back to Logan. She says she's there to help and that he needs to go to arcade with her, which I don't know what arcade is. Maybe that's just like a fun place to be. Maybe it's like an arcade, you know. This is late 70s, so there's got to be arcades by now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess arcades were always a thing, but it's thinking about arcades
Yeah,
like
it
Pac-Man
means
and stuff
something
like
different. Yeah.
that.
Because like a Nickelodeon used to be a term where you put like a penny in something and you could see some entertainment.
Yeah, it's like this thing that would rotate images and was basically like early video almost. So
Yeah, and those were always in the arcade, which
yeah,
that meant a place of like I guess visual entertainment. I'm not
yeah.
sure.
Then she's like reluctantly luring him into a trap. Logan gets a call for a runner, and he hops in a transport. Jessica goes along with them, and then we see a couple of guys in red suits follow after them, which that's always hilarious. Like we're gonna chase them down, but they just get in a tube train, and like there's never any gaining or losing. It just happens.
Yeah, it's like a bored interstitial period. It's
Yeah.
like from here to there. I'll sleep, smoke a cigarette. It's not really. There's no urgency in this journey.
No. So they end up in like a slum area. This really, yeah, that'd be a dirty child steals Jessica's bracelet. Which they ask her is like, why aren't you in school? Which again we don't know what school is in this world or anything like that because like who would be old enough to be a teacher and like so I'm guessing it's like a computer teacher or something like that. Who knows? So
Yeah.
again here they're not going to follow through on all the ideas. They need to get through the movie. So like they got even more ideas they want to bring up, so there's no time to spend there. The runner is somewhere in the section. People come out of everywhere with like weapons. They're all like misfit children that don't want to grow up or something. Like I guess if their gym glows green, that means they're a teenager, and then they have to be like taken to like a different part of the city or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's to go to school or what. If they need to start working, or does anybody have to work in this world, or what's going on? But this place is dilapidated and not being taken care of. So
Yeah.
So yeah, Logan scares off Billy, which was the guy who cut up the runner before, and then he goes back on his runner search. Um, or no, like Billy cut up a Sandman, not a runner. Logan finds the runner and she's terrified. Francis is revealed to be sneaking around, so now he's kind of like, "Hey, what's going on here?" Logan gives the lady a smoke bomb after she doesn't know about Sanctuary. Because like, "Hey, you going to Sanctuary? I'll come with." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, "Oh, never mind. Here's a smoke bomb." And then as they leave, Francis just comes up and kills her. Which this is very weird because it feels like they are 4 feet away from each other.
He would have. Well, she does scream, and they do hear it.
Yeah, they react to it, but they're like, anyways.
Interesting. I think, oh well.
Oh, I heard a Sandman killing somebody. Let's just ignore that. That's not going to mean anything.
Walk slowly. Yeah.
And that smoke bomb doesn't even get used, so it's like, which I don't know if that's like a metaphor for the movie. Like, here's an object here's what it does. Here we're not going to use it. Then Jessica admits to Logan to like basically trying to get him killed to like try to hide Sanctuary. Jessica finds a dirty girl and gets her bracelet back, and then just kind of pats her on the head, so it's not like a malicious thing. It's like, but also seems like the girl like just doesn't have enough food to function anymore. It's like, I stole the thing. Time to sleep forever. Now Logan is running off to get a new face. Jessica goes with. They're at the plastic surgeons or like for the laser surgeons or whatever goes on here. Farrah Fawcett is the receptionist, which is like, oh yeah, I know her, and then it's like, oh yeah. When did that famous like swimsuit photo of her come out?
I'm not sure. I have to look that up. 'Cause I think this was her. Was this her first movie?
No, this is like because is Charlie Angels like before this?
Well, no. Let me look it up. Oh no, she had been in 2 movies before this,
Oh, okay,
but I think as a supporting character.
yeah.
Because she was like,
And then
yeah,
like what? She's also credited as like Farrah Fawcett Majors because she was married to some guy named Majors or something at
Lee
that time.
Majors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lee Majors. Okay.
Let's see. When did Charlie's Angels come out?
Yeah, 76. So same year.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Wait, hold on. No. That is. Oh, nope, 76. So yeah, same year. I
Okay.
don't know when, but yeah. So yeah, this is like the start of her career pretty much. So, um, and then let's look up that. Uh, no, Farrah Fawcett poster. When did that come out? Also 76.
Okay. So a lot of things were happening for Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah, I remember I work at a customer's house when I was doing residential HVAC, and they had that like on a stairwell down to their basement, and just Playboy's open to pornography section. So just
Nice.
like on frames on the wall.
Yeah. I'm a creep. Welcome to my home.
Next to the fuck Biden flags and stuff like that.
Yes. Fuck Biden stuff. It's very clever. Edgy guy, aren't you? Just have a lot of money and no taste. It's
Yeah.
like,
And somehow still like 3 girlfriends.
oh yeah, absolutely. What? You got money?
um, the surgeon shows off he has a red gym, but he also has like silver gloves on that would presumably cover that up. Which, if you would go deeper into this, there would probably be like a weird thing about gloves. It's like, what are you trying to hide? But again,
Yeah.
that's not a thing in the movie. Nobody's surprised when you turn 30. It's all expected. It's just that's kind of how the cultural osmosis kind of took it. Or maybe that's my misrepresentation of the cultural osmosis. I don't know. The surgeon tells Jessica she shouldn't have brought him here because apparently he's a part of like whole sanctuary crowd or something like that. And then they start a procedure, and it just kind of like cuts his face and heals him at the same time. And it's like, and he doesn't seem to be bothered by it at all. But then then the doc tries to kill Logan. Is like, what if I didn't use the healing part of it? And it's just like a bunch of spinning lasers that he somehow escapes. He does get like cut up a bunch, but not too bad. And then the doctor just comes in with like a crowbar or something, like a crowbar full of glitter, and tries to fight him. And then Logan just pushes him in the machine, and then the doctor gets killed by his own lasers. Um, then Francis shows up, and he's suspicious of Logan. Then Logan just knocks him down and runs. Then we cut to Logan and Jessica run into a sex club, which they do a lot of weird stuff with the imagery here. It's like kind of in slow motion, and things like they're cutting all over the place. Like they both get grabbed up by sexy people and kind of put in the middle of like sex mosh pits here, and then they escape them and then break away together, and then there's like a
Seem to
secret.
be getting hypnotized by sex noise generator
Yeah,
or some kind of sexual hypnotism is going on.
yeah.
They're not fighting like as objectively hard as you think they would be. It's like, get off of me, you creep! Away from a killer, not be drug away into your weird sex thing.
Yeah, it seems like the music here is a drug that makes people want to have more sex or whatever. So,
Yeah.
and I don't know if this is just like a gathering or if this is like an establishment. Like this is where you go for these
It's an
things.
establishment. Because what do they call it? It's like we got to go to the Love Club or
Yeah,
something.
something like that.
Yeah.
But also like in Total Recall, there is a secret entrance here. So,
Yes.
um, so yeah, they get to see through the secret entrance where then Francis like comes to the hallway. It's like, where'd they go? And then Logan starts to see like the scenes behind the dome. Well, it's not really behind the dome, but it's just kind of like outside of the city. It's like, you get to see kind of the infrastructure beyond it, which they've never seen before, even know exists or whatever.
Yeah.
Logan puts out a distress call from his phone, and then they get up to a door and it like halfway opens, and Logan gets ordered to interlock his hands and hold his hand above his head so it shows off his gem, and then they has to walk in, and then Jessica is just like, she apparently knows these people or they know her, so she's just they don't tell her to do anything. They get further in, they're like held up by like lighted spears.
Yeah.
They have like little smoke, and the smoke hurts or something like that. This is weird.
Yeah, apparently it causes pain.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah. The spike tip is just there to deliver gas, not to stab anybody.
Yeah. Part of the weird weapons structure of this universe.
Yeah. And then Jessica pleads that we have to help anyone who asks, even if it's a Sandman. So that's what they're like. Like, this is a ploy. Like, they're gonna attack us, and then like they're all right.
Yeah.
They are gonna attack you. We should help everybody who asks, and then we're all gonna die.
Yeah. Being nice gets you.
Then Holly shows up. She's the receptionist at the surgeon, and then she says he killed Doc, which then they like kind of like like go back to poking the spears at him. And then this is weird because Jessica's basically like trying to it seems like she's manipulating Holly, but then like everything she's saying is like, no, that's what happened. She's like, yeah, that is what happened. And I'm like, yeah, that is what happened. Why are you acting weird? So whatever. I mean, I guess like
got nominated for like 4 Razzies in a row for being a bad actress. Then after that, she won a Golden Globe for being a good actress, so she must have learned.
Was that for Extremities?
Yes.
Okay. That was like weirdly a movie that was like on TNT all the time in like the early 90s.
Oh yeah.
And I remember it being like, this is a weird movie because it's like basically assault going both ways, and like it's like, should we kill this guy? Like tried to assault me, and she's like in skimpy like nightwear the entire movie. So it's
a strange movie about is sexual assault good or bad? Like, does it, if it fulfills your fantasies, it's good, but you got to take the chance. Or, I saw that. Like, what message am I getting from it?
I mean, I've always saw bits and pieces of it. Like, I knew like, oh, bad things are happening, but there's kind of like a turnabout is fair play kind of thing to it. I've never seen it since. So I've never actually sat down and tried to watch it. It was like, how was this movie supposed to be received? I have no idea. So
it was an 80s like movie about sex.
I know that. Okay, it is about sex. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it wasn't that soon after that there was like Misery, which is kind of a similar or almost the same way, but that's more one-sided.
Wasn't about sex. It was about people that were just psychologically deranged.
Okay. Let's see here. So yeah, the spirit people get convinced that they put their weapons down and let them through. We also don't see their faces, so it's presumed they're old.
Yeah.
Because they try to save that as a surprise because like, nobody in this universe has seen an old person before, so they don't know what that looks like. So they save that for later by putting all these people in shadow, which presumably also Jessica's never seen these people.
Yeah, she doesn't know who they are, and they're not revealing themselves.
And also like the escape you get with the surgeon is that he's altered himself to look younger, so you don't know how old he is necessarily either.
Yeah,
he presumably doesn't look like he should be dead already. So, Jessica wants to go to Sanctuary Logan, so he wants her to go back to the city, but she's like, "You got to take me. There's no future for me here." And then the Sandmen show up and just start killing everyone. Holly gets killed by rubble or whatever or something. This is like we have like, they apparently have explosives now, but the Sandmen just have these guns that just seems like, they pull a trigger, a flame shoots out of it, and then on the other end of it, they just detonate a firework on the wall that flashes some sparks. and it kind of always looks stupid. But
Yeah. Doesn't seem like the most effective thing.
I mean, like Peck and Paul had movies out by then. They knew what squibs are, but maybe this is their way to like not do violent ones. Because I don't know, I imagine this was a PG movie, so
Probably.
um, so maybe I should look that up. Oh wait, I guess that's right here. I can click on it. Yep, PG. So
Okay.
that's probably why they didn't have squibs in this movie. Um, so yeah, presumably all the sanctuary people are dead now because the whole underground has been killed. So presumably his job is done, but he has to go further. Um, Francis tries talking to Logan and telling him to kill her because he thinks she's the runner because they're like holding hands and he sees a glowing red, so he thinks it's her or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here, but he doesn't know that Logan has the glowing red gem at the moment. Actually, he never sees him having a glowing red gem.
I don't think that. Yeah, that doesn't really ever come up.
So, well, I mean, they do it later on, but then they're outside where it's just clear.
Yeah, so it doesn't. It's never mentioned like why is this happening? Because you think Francis would question like, wait a minute, this wasn't like this before. You've got years to go yet.
So yeah, then Logan fires around Francis and runs off. Jessica and Logan find a door that needs an Ankh to get in Sanctuary. They like fumble with one of the Ankh keys and drop it, but he's got another one, and so they're able to get in with that.
They try to get the one off her neck, and then they drop it in some water.
Yeah.
So he has the one that he took off the other runner.
But they make a big deal of it. It's like, we'll never get that back, and then like moments later, he just picks it up out of the water. So, they wind up in like an aquarium or something. And this is where like Logan mentions that they get power from like the sea. But he also says this area looks unused, so we really don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Then we cut to Francis found the key they dropped, and he just picks it up and he gets in the maintenance area as well. Francis fires at Logan and hits an aquarium glass. This causes the place to flood, which is like a pretty impressive like scene here.
Yeah, it looks that's a big set type scene.
Yeah.
Side and adventure stuff.
Yeah. So they're able to get away from the flood, and they find an elevator, and some machinery turns on. They ride the elevator up. They find a frozen cave that also looks like it's a museum. So I didn't know if this is this cold or not cold, but I'm guessing it's supposed to be cold. So
yeah.
They take their wet clothes off, which is just an excuse to get everyone naked. But Michael gets to keep his pants on, but Ginny does not. So
She was like basically naked in every movie she did up to this point.
oh, okay.
There's an Australian movie she did where she was basically naked half the movie.
Oh, okay.
So this became a thing, over with her because he laughs about it now in interviews.
Yeah.
She was like, I think I had my top off more than on.
Yeah, it must be a different time because the nudity alone would make this rated R now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, a PG movie with basically a sex club scene because all the people are basically naked in that scene too, but it is kind of dark and stroby, so maybe they get away with it.
Yeah, there's probably like shots and numbers of seconds it's on screen and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. They probably had different rules.
They take their wet clothes off and put on some animal furs, but then like moments later they just magically have their clothes back, but it's fine, whatever. A robot comes
Right off really quick.
A robot comes out to like serve the humans or whatever. His name is Box.
Yes.
Box kind of talks in poetry. It's like a silver box with like a human head on it with some like tinfoil wrapped around him. It's a very weird looking machine. Very Doctor Who as well.
Yes. Out of Doctor Who.
Logan asked to seek sanctuary and like apparently I must have missed what's going on here. It seems like there's not enough like plankton for the fish and not enough fish for the people, so he started freezing people so there was enough food for them eventually, or were the people the food?
Well, he just froze everything. He just
Okay.
wrapped it because he always had this thing. It's like food from the sea. He would kind of repeat this line.
Yeah.
And he just started like, well, people must come from the sea. I'll freeze them too. Because he basically had a very simple program that he just followed.
Yeah. He's just a box freezer. He just
Yeah.
freezes things. Okay. But also, like, so, like, I don't know. I know this is not really important and they're not going to follow up on it. Is Sanctuary a ruse for Box to freeze people?
Well, no, Sanctuary is something invented by the people who are trying to get escape, but it was basically Sanctuary was escaping into the world, but there was no further plan beyond the Ankh door.
Okay, all right.
That's how I understand.
This is the furthest this is furthest getting to Box is the furthest anybody's ever got, and then
Yes.
and that's just incidental that they end up at Box. That's not really a part of the waypoint.
No.
Okay. Or do you think people have escaped in other directions?
I don't, probably not.
Okay.
Because they seem to be herded through this whole thing in the same direction. Even though they had like the room fill up and flood, there were still doors and access ways that always led them this way.
Yeah. I guess the difference here is there's never been a Sandman come this way with a gun, so he couldn't
Yeah.
destroy Box. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, Box tries to freeze Logan, but Logan shoots him, and he just kind of blows up, and the place falls down around him. It's kind of got this weird, like, it's like translucent stuff falling down because it looks very destructive, but like, well, that's just an effect, and these actors aren't in any danger whatsoever. But that looks all right, whatever. You know what's going on, but it's an effect. Jessica and Logan step outside, having never seen it before, and then they step out into a sunrise. So that's the first time they've ever seen the sun. Then we cut to Francis finds Box destroyed. He doesn't know what that means. He's like, well, that's weird. And then he follows Logan outside. They don't see each other, but he just kind of follows in the footsteps. So that being the Act 2. We got Act 3. Logan and Jessica are getting tired. She gets freaked out by a lizard, and Logan calms her. It's like, it's like she just wants to go back because now she doesn't know, like, she doesn't trust the outside. She doesn't know what's going to happen. Then we cut to it's night. They're tired, and they rest amongst some trees. And then they hold each other to keep warm. Because they don't know how to make a fire. Like they never had to before. So, yeah, that's one thing about the city. Like all its weird intricacies and stuff like that, they're never want for anything, presumably.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jessica wonders if they're the first people to get past Box and if there's a sanctuary somewhere outside. The next day, they find a river and jump in it, and then they skinny dip in the river. Then they notice their life blocks, the gems have turned clear, and then being happy and naked in the water, Jessica consents to sex, and then we just cut away. So presumably that's when they have sex. I don't know. So.
Yeah, they don't show it.
Yeah.
So.
They keep on trekking forward. They have more like basically holes in their clothes, which seems kind of like. I don't know. It's like, maybe these clothes aren't, these clothes aren't made for the outside world, so maybe they just get holes in all the time. I mean, Logan's got lasered up, so that makes more sense. But
yeah, they seem to be disintegrating.
well, and I guess like Jessica's is like see-through, so it's not that really robust.
Yeah, it wasn't
anyway.
a durable garment.
They keep on trekking forward. They spot.
Here, I'll be right back.
Okay. I have a
Sorry about
standby screen, so I just go to that rather than just
that.
talking randomly.
Okay.
Um. So yeah, yeah, right. They spot a monument off in the distance. I'm like, is that just the Washington Monument? And then they're waiting in the reflection pool. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's that. And then they come up to the Lincoln Memorial. It's like, yep, this is Washington D.C. So, they see the Lincoln statue, and then like the facial hair on the statue throws them off because they're like, is that what an old man looks like? So they're like, oh yeah, they've never seen an old man before. So, here's just a statue of one. Then they venture forth and find a person in the was this the floor of Congress or the Senate or what?
It's like the Senate like debate room or
Okay.
whatever.
Then they see an old guy with a bunch of cats around. They look at his hands and see that he doesn't have a life crystal. And then Jessica asks to touch his wrinkles, which people are always touching this guy, and he's always kind of making weird, like noises and faces and stuff. Which I guess he seems to be like the only person in the world right now. So
Yeah.
I mean, he talks about his parents, so it's presumed there's other people around, but it seems like the world has not been kind to the people in the outside world. But they quiz the guy about his life, but like don't really get an insightful answer as to like what's going on in the world. And then he doesn't know anything about Sanctuary, so this, so yeah, like you said, like Sanctuary is more of an idea rather than an actual place. It's more of so.
Yeah.
Francis shows up and grabs Jessica before she screams. Here he says something like, "He was a Sandman. He was happy." uh, Logan Logan finds a portrait of Lincoln and then like kind of puts the statue and that portrait together. I was like, "Hey, these are the same guy." That he's like telling that to Jessica, but he sees that she's not around. Then he goes looking for her, and then when she doesn't respond, and then Franska just has Jessica on the upper floor of Congress, and Logan tells Francis to like look at his hand because see it's clear, and he shows off his hand, it's clear. But then Francis can't handle that, and then he just jumps from the upper balcony to land on top of Logan to fight him, which that seems inefficient. Whatever. Also, yeah, at some point, yeah, Jessica gets the gun away from him, so that's why he just goes to hand combat here. They end up fighting with the American flag and a pole. Logan gets the upper hand and just keeps beating Francis down.
Yeah,
And
beats him to death with a flagpole.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen in a movie.
And then Francis dies in Logan's arm after he sees the clear crystal or whatever, which that kind of makes him happy and gives him permission to die or whatever, because he's still like, living by the Sandman rules and carousel and all this other nonsense. So, cut the night. They bury Francis in a cemetery, which I thought this was going to be like the what's the? No, I'm forgetting it. The National Cemetery for the military members. But that's actually like
Arlington.
Yeah, Arlington. But that's actually like, isn't that like further away?
Yeah.
It's like on the outskirts, so it wouldn't really be next to Congress here or whatever. So
yeah.
Also, there wouldn't be couples buried there. I don't think so, because they see like beloved husband and beloved wife, and that's where they. So this is just a different cemetery in Washington somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been something like after the, whatever wars happened.
Yeah.
Whatever people live there, they just found a park and made it into a cemetery.
Logan wants to go back to tell the city the truth, and then Jessica just wants to stay outside now. It's like, and then I think Logan says, "All I want is to be alive and be with you," which she says, "I want the same thing." So the old guy and them, they join them when they go back to say, because like, hey, there's a bunch of young people he can see. He's like, young people, huh? So, yeah, I have no.
His dialogue was ad-libbed in the whole movie.
Okay, that makes sense.
He just kind of showed up and just worked with the guy.
Yeah.
No real.
Well, it kind of makes sense. He's living in his own world, like almost literally and figuratively. Yeah. So, as they walk back, the old guy tells of his life and like his parents and stuff like that. At nighttime, they sit by a fire, and basically, Logan and Jessica learn about marriage and like. It's like, hey, we should be married, and they just kind of like almost an impromptu. Well, basically, they just declare a relationship. Essentially, that's about it. So, and then they're walking along. For some reason, there's no path around the reflecting pool, so they just walk through it. It's also like not contained anymore. It's like just but also like DC's a swamp, so it just would have been underwater by now. So,
yeah.
uh, and then we have them like they get back to the city outside, and they're next to this waterfall thing, which is like a really neat, real thing. That's like Nathan said, it's brutalism structure. It's like it's big waterfall thing. There's weird steps on it that they start crawling down with. Like there's no. It's like oh, there's just water and cement. Like somebody's gonna slip and fall, but like nobody does. So, um, but then they tell the old guy he's got to stay behind because they got to like dive into the waterfall to get back in the city. Which this is really weird because I'm like, why don't you just go back in the way he came? But I guess this is the only way they figure out that they can get back in. So, but also I guess it gives them an excuse to abandon the old guy to have everybody find him later on. So,
Yeah, it's just setting up a scene.
they swim up to the power generator pool or whatever, and then they get back into the city. There's another carousel going on, and Logan tries to yell at the people to stop going to carousel, but nobody listens to him. And then a few Sandmen show up and capture Logan and Jessica. Then we cut to Logan's being interrogated by the computer, and the machine is like reading his mind. We see him; he never talks, but then we see like videos of him where he's talking, and that's presumed to be like it's reading his mind. It's weird and interesting. It's a weird way to present it, but I guess it makes sense or whatever. Because also, his like all his voices are like slowed down and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like what is that? What was it like when isn't that was it in Star Trek the motion picture whenever like the V'ger probe shows up as lightning and everything slows down, everybody has that weird like octave voice or whatever. So.
Oh no, that happened when they went into the wormhole. When the
Oh, okay,
wormhole
okay.
was out of balance. Yeah, everyone started talking slower,
Okay.
and they had a Dopplering effect.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah,
And then they have to like shoot that asteroid or something to get him out of the wormhole or something.
yeah, they had to use the photon torpedo was basically a antimatter device, so
Yeah.
it would throw them back out of the warp field into, I don't know. It's something that never happened before or since.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, whatever this was.
um He says there is no sanctuary and that it's frozen, and then they found an old man, which the computer just deems as unacceptable because it needs to prove its own theory, and if it doesn't, it'll destroy itself, I guess, or whatever. So
Yeah, this is kind of the weird logic of like the prisoner.
yeah,
It's a supercomputer. What's the one thing you can say that will make it go insane? And just ask why. It gets caught in a logic loop. It's like, well, yeah, but that's not really find its way out of that. It's not much of a supercomputer.
yeah. There's no reset schedules on these AIs.
Yeah, no, it's run in perpetuity.
uh, yeah. The computer seems to be breaking down from the truth that goes against its expectations. Um, this is a treatise on the current Republican Party now.
Could be.
um, the computer malfunctions and starts blowing up, which then now the city is just blowing up. Everyone's panicking and running. And then somehow nobody who never knew how to make their way outside, the entire city makes their way outside. But I'm doubting anybody grabbed those babies, so all those babies are dead. So.
Yeah.
They're just they don't need to follow up on that. So yeah, that's what I was like. Well, if this is what's going on, that's
Well, yeah, it's like, oh, look, they're free now. Like 90% of them are going to die. No skills to survive, and
yeah, there's no city to take care of them anymore. So
they're going to rebuild the dictatorship that controlled them.
Yeah. They see the old man there, and they all come up and like kind of touch him. Like, they surround the old guy in bewilderment, and like they have kind of an uplifting score here, and so they, and then we get like the end and the credits start rolling as the city like continues to explode. But it's kind of supposed to be like, yeah, it's a happy city. They escaped the city, but then it's like I don't necessarily. This doesn't guarantee a better life for them. But
Yeah, it's like
they just get to be old.
Wasteland outside of this place.
Yeah. But it is like for 70s sci-fi, it has the trappings of an upbeat ending. So I don't know. Is there any like darkness we're supposed to take out of the end of this movie other than what I mentioned, Nathan? Or is there a happiness we're supposed to take out of it?
I don't exactly. It's kind of a mixed. Again, it's one of those like a lot of ideas are presented here and never develop.
Yeah.
Um, but it's like, yeah, it's the end of like childhood essentially for these people.
Yeah.
It's like this, just living a life purely for personal pleasure. Like, yeah, that's over. Mortgaging your freedom and future for comfort is not, that's not a thing to do. Um, people do yearn to have like lives and stuff beyond, just hedonistic. Like, you can live that way till you're 30. I mean, there was a reason like all your favorite rock stars from the 70s and 60s that died, they all died at 27, because that's essentially the age your body will quit if you drink and use drugs. Like like there's a reason all those people died at that age.
Yeah.
The guy that broke that mold was like Jim Morrison, but I think that's because he did slow down slightly. But yeah, like all those other people that died, it was like they were just
Well, I
living.
mean, Keith Richards probably should have died years ago, but that's more of the myth around him rather than the reality. I mean, he did do a ton of drugs, but
He explained that on Maron, though, on Mark Maron. He said, yeah, the trick is you do a little bit of heroin every day. You don't do the whole bag. Stops. He kind of had a thing about it. Yeah, it's okay to do a little bit of drugs. Don't do all the drugs every day.
Yeah.
Um, and also Keith Richards can afford heroin that isn't like mostly fentanyl or real stuff. So that helps too. But yeah, this is basically like the end of it. It's like, I think one of the messages is like this selfish time has to be over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and whether you knew it was selfish or not, it has to end.
Which was absolutely wrong for because then the 80s came along. It's like you can be even more selfish. So
Greed is good.
apparently no lesson was learned. So
Well, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of movies. And, this era had everything had an ecological message or and it was just a lot of dark things about, just greedy, evil systems and
yeah, I mean this is like post Nixon. This is
yeah,
this is around Carter's Carter's America and stuff like
the
that.
government's lying to us.
Yeah.
It's all that stuff.
Um,
Like that's weird to read like in the 50s. Like if you read like what's the man on the street's opinion? If it wasn't about baseball or something else quaint, it was like, yeah, I think, the government, I think they're generally doing good. And it's like all that changed after 1963. Oh, they're killing our president and we don't know what else going on. And yeah, that's where all the paranoia, like I said, I love like 70s paranoia movies. Remember we watched like the Parallax View
Yeah.
and all those. It's like, yeah, that's all that almost didn't exist outside of Alfred Hitchcock before this era. It's like everyone is out to get you and there are evil forces everywhere.
Yeah.
Science fiction from this era definitely took that, kind of culminating with like Alien. It's like, yeah, the evil greedy corporation wants to harvest your body and grow aliens inside it, and it's like that was the ultimate distillation of this period of science fiction.
But now we kind of live in
Star Wars too, which is like, that's cool and fun.
But now we kind of live in the I think it's called Hanlon's Razor Society, where it's like, which I think Hanlon's Raiders never attribute to malice, which can be attributed to stupidity.
Yeah.
So like all these secret things that are controlling your lives, like it's not intentional. It's a lot of stupid people with power that don't know what they're doing.
That's mostly incompetence and incidental conspiracies.
Yeah.
It's like, they were conspiring to steal the gold. Oh, no, they were just greedy and they happened to end up with all the gold. They weren't really smart enough to make that happen. You were just dumb enough to let it happen.
Yeah. Well, we're sending a probe states containing the supercut of scenes from the imperfect collection of the movies that make up the Verhoeven Effect. Nathan, what one scene in this movie are we shoving into space?
Oh, the first carousel scene.
Okay.
Because it establishes everything you need to know about this movie. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. None of it's going to be explained. And the characters in the movie are going to come up with some very random, weird ideas based on very little information. But they're also... It also makes a sense because they are naive people that were just cared for.
Yeah.
And they grew up in a society that only peripherally makes sense if you think about it for more than a minute. But don't do that. Aphrodisiac balloon into the air quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you really ponder what's going on, you realize that this isn't workable.
I feel empty. Well, just fill it with drugs and alcohol and sex. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, that works for everyone. And if you don't live past 30, it does. I mean,
Yeah.
that there's like a dark, like sinister undertone to this. It's like, yeah, that's the perfect age. In this I mean, I don't know if the drugs and abuse they're doing is harmful to them. Like they never really like reflect on that. 'Cause you don't see people like smoking or using like crazy drugs like needle drugs or
No.
something.
No,
So
yeah, no, you don't really see people using drugs, but people seem to be high or something,
Mhm.
or a little bit too happy for no unknown reasons.
So they don't seem to be like just trashing their bodies
No,
oh yeah, they're worn out at 30 anyway. They would have died soon after, but it that which is even worse because then it's just like this is planned euthanasia.
um, well, you can find us at Letterbox username VHE 1 out of 5 stars. What do we get? Logan's Run.
I'm gonna give Logan's Run 3
Okay,
for goofiness and just generosity and nostalgia.
okay,
Because it's not like they tried to do a lot of good things, but it's like they didn't succeed in every aspect.
yeah,
But they did make kind of a visually striking movie that definitely fit exactly in its time. Like it was not revolutionary for the time; it was a
no.
product of its time, which makes it's like a time capsule viewing. So
Um, well, you can find us at veroeffect.com. There we have listener support. You can support us on monthly stipend on 99 cents, 49 or 99. Cancel any time. You can rate our podcast where you want. You can rate our podcast where you want. So the only thing I will listen to is the highest rating. So remember, give us the highest rating and destroy the AI overlords that are controlling us.
yes, don't let the Logan's Run dystopia become a reality. Don't let AIs take over that can be just completely torn apart by simple questions
And
or
remember,
shoot a gun at like a certain thing and the whole society unravels. You don't want a society that fragile.
our success means you're bucking this. No, our success means your success. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, this is not generated content. It's much too
Oh,
far.
yeah, we're the measuring. If we're fighting the AI overlords, then we will be successful. Yeah, we are the canary in the coal mine of the AI mine. So.
Because we're either fighting Skynet or we're laughing at the biggest VC Ponzi scheme that's ever existed. Oh, yeah. And apparently neither does anyone else. So
Nope. Kind of makes you think who's in charge of this stuff and why. How do they get that? And it seems to be inherited. So.
well, I mean, I think the prisoner got it right when he finally reveals number one. Who is number one? That was always the question throughout the prisoner, and he takes the mask off and he realizes it was him all along. So remember, everyone, you are number one. You're the man behind the curtain in your own weird reality.
You can find us at Twitter at Verhoeven. You can find us at Blue Sky Social at Verhoeven. You can find us at Facebook at Verhoeven. And you can find us on YouTube at American Read Factory and watch both this and that show live and unedited. So for the Verhoeven podcast, I'm Conlon.
And I'm Nathan.
Goodbye, America.